So I'm going to take you through all about the metacarpal fractures, right from the conservative treatment and how to go for operative procedures. Coming to this case, this is a 45-year-old male, subtle looking X-ray, a fourth metacarpal fracture. Can I have a pointer? And this is how the patient presents. So when he flexes the fingers and there's a scissoring. So like Dr. Yogesh has excellently explained the clinical examination of the hand. So it's very important to see whenever you see a fracture of a metacarpal, make sure rotationally they are stable. You can easily conserve most of the metacarpal fractures, but provided you know that it's in a good alignment, and then there's not a problem. Of course, when you see these at 6 weeks, then you need a surgery and you need some deformity correction and then derotation, osteotomy, and fix it. So learning objectives are we come to know about after this talk is acceptable criteria for conservative treatment, nailing, screw fixation and plate fixation, whatever is required. I'll be going through all these. I think the most important thing to know for all of us, this is a beautiful paper, was published in 2016. So what is the acceptable criteria? So when do you conserve? Because there is always a debate and there's always a discussion among us that this can be conserved, this cannot be conserved, although it will still remain, but then this gives some guidelines that angulation not to exceed of a 30 degree. That is one important thing. So consider that one. And intrinsic resting length is important because whenever there's a shortening, I'll come to that in the next slide. And coming to the index, middle, ring and little finger, it's like 10, 10, 20, 30. That is what it goes like roughly when you are thinking of doing a conservative treatment. And when that was angulation, and shortening is something, you know, data is haywire. There are multiple papers, but which goes from 2 to 10 millimeter in various studies. So when there's a shortening of a metacarpal, the resting tone of the intrinsics also weakens, and that is what leads to weakness of the grip, etc., etc. So 2 to 10 mm is what is suggested in the literature. So now when you're sure, then which fractures need to be fixed, and it of course depends from patient to patient, and when you see the activity level of that particular patient, sometimes you tend to go in for fixation of most of the fractures. So when there are neck fractures, I think most of the fractures, something like this, you always check for rotational deformities. It's an impacted kind of a fracture of the neck of the metacarpal. Most of the times what we've seen is a retrograde wires. I think that is not a very good idea. I think all of us will agree that for all the neck fractures, the traditional antegrade wiring, take a good incision. Dr. Vijay has told, take a big incision, you take away the extensor tendon, and then you find that spot at the base of the metacarpal and drill it with a 2.5 or a 2.7 millimeter drill. Take a K-wire, 1.2 millimeters or 1 millimeter, 2 K-wires will be needed, bend it, and like we do a bouquet technique, all of us know that. So this is an excellent way of fixing all the metacarpal neck fractures as such, rather than doing a retrograde fixation which goes right through the extensor hood, and then that causes problems with your flexion of the metacarpophalangeal joint. Cut the wires with a good sharp cutter at the base, because that may cause an impingement or irritation of the extensor tendon. That is one important thing, and that is how it finally looks. Make sure intraoperatively you have good rotation. You do it under local anesthesia, most of these procedures, and you are intraoperatively, you are checking for the rotation of the finger. And they do pretty well. At around 2 weeks, you'll see that you can get them going as early as possible, and then many a times you may not need to remove these wires. This is again a boxer displaced 4th and 5th metacarpal neck fracture, and this is treated in the same way with an antegrade technique. So at 3 months he was back to almost going back to his profession. Again an angulated kind of a metacarpal neck fracture, second young male. So all neck fractures, I think the traditional this way is to fix it with an antegrade wires. This is 2 months follow-up. So it's a simple technique, easily reproducible. There's no injury to the extensor hood, and very less inventory is required, as has been mentioned earlier. Metacarpal plating, when there are multiple fractures, open fractures, irreducible fractures, segmental fractures, non-unions, you don't have an option but to do for a plate osteosynthesis. When you see a delayed presentation, again with a rotational deformity, something like this, that will need an interfragmentary compression and a neutralization plate like we've been taught. You take the extensor tendon away and then you see good healing. Sometimes a CT scan is required if you feel that you're missing on some injuries. Usually CMC joint injuries, you should do a CT scan. Isolated metacarpal short oblique fractures, they are irreducible fractures. You will have a tough time in trying to pass a K-wire and reducing these, but the ideal way for those is to open. You see, just with the minimal joysticking of the fragment, you'll get the reduction. You hold the reduction and you can put a plate. Advantages, usually in high energy trauma, there's a lot of edema, compartment syndrome type picture, that will help to decompress the compartment. It is difficult to hold the reduction of shaft fractures in a cast. You will get a precise reduction, early rehabilitation, restoration of the arches of the hand, restoration of length in relation to the intrinsics. Neck fracture, old, malunited, osteoclasis, and you can fix it with a plate. Make sure your extensor tendon is preserved and you put them into early rehab. Start them early. The advantage of plating is that you can go ahead with the motion right on the next day. This was fixed with the antegrade technique, went into non-union, and again you don't have an option but to fix it with a plate, and that was implant removal was also done afterwards. These are also unstable kind of fractures. You'll have a difficulty in passing K-wires even with antegrade, so some of the comminuted oblique fractures can be fixed with plates. See that? Achieve stable fixation so that rehab is started early. That is the most important thing. I think when you're doing a plate, don't put them in a cast or slab, and then the whole purpose of that surgery is not fulfilled. So whenever you are doing this, you should have all the inventory. That is important, like 2 millimeter or 1.5 millimeter sets should be ready. Various types of plates, because it's on intraoperatively on table, you'll have to decide which kind of a plate will be used in this. And screw fixations isolated, you can see these oblique fractures. They are sometimes rotationally very bad, like I showed the first case. So make sure if they are unstable rotationally, they are not good, then you can do just a screw fixation. But make sure that whenever you are doing isolated fixation with the screws, make sure you have plates on the table, because sometimes you may have to convert and put a neutralization plate as well. A fracture something like this, very difficult to treat with a K-wire, or you cannot conserve this. So screws is ideal for these fractures, and this is always an open reduction. I think you should never try to put in the screws with, try to reduce it in a closed way and then try to get those screws. Very difficult. Sometimes you may get away, but then never hesitate to open reduce, hold it properly with the clamps and put in interfragmentary screws. Similarly, an oblique fracture like this can be fixed with the screws. And multiple metacarpal fractures, again, this is an indication of fixation. This was also fixed with multiple screws, and as you see, this is an open reduction. Transverse fractures, sometimes this also is one of the technique recently which has been advocated, is you can put an intramedullary, you make a small open incision here, and you can pass your guide wire and an intramedullary Herbert screw fixation. Very selected patients, you have a very small incision and you will get them going very fast and early. So don't hesitate to open reduce a fracture when you don't get an acceptable close reduction. In metacarpals, you open reduce, keep different screws ready on the table. Never operate with only screws, you should have plates as well. And like I told earlier, you can manage most of them conservatively. Neck and shaft fractures are best treated with antegrade pinning. Proximal fractures and multiple metacarpal fractures, plating is ideal. Keep the inventory on table and when you plan to open reduce. Thank you.